What's up, YouTube? I am that boarding school dude. Welcome to my channel. This is the first video of many. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please like the video, comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be looking at a lot of boarding schools, what it's like to go to boarding school. We're going to be comparing them. We're going to be doing reaction videos. So stay tuned. I think you're going to like it. So like I said, I am that boarding school dude. I went to two different boarding schools in my higher education, high school time, if you will. And I think I have a pretty good idea of what it's like to go to boarding school. I went to one that was pretty stiff.
Count aloud, Mr. Dalton. 1.
I went to one that was pretty lax.
The right side is my side, and I share a room with a girl, so this is two people's room.
For today's first video, I'm not even going to go into what it's like to go to boarding school or what it's like to apply to boarding school or anything like that.
Shut when you think about it.
We're going to jump straight in, and we're going to be reacting to our very first boarding school, the Hill School. Okay, the Hill School, pretty well known nationally. A lot of famous people went there. A lot of famous people's children went there. So let's jump right in and let's start our very first reaction with the Hill School. Nice campus. Uniforms. All right, so first things first, guys. You know, when these schools put out these marketing videos, you know, sometimes they name it, I think this one was called A Day in the Life at Hill School. They always try to, in some weird way, they try to show you what it's like to go to school there through the eyes of a student. You're always going to see a lot of the same things: students interacting with students, students interacting with teachers, and looking obviously super happy, super engaged. Let's keep going. Nice chapel. All right. So another thing about boarding school, guys, a lot of boarding schools have a religious affiliation. You can pretty much guarantee that you're going to be going to a chapel or to some sort of church or to some sort of religious building at least twice a week. A lot of the schools, especially the ones that I went to, you had a midday, a midweek a religious ceremony, and then obviously if you're boarding, you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to be going on Sunday mornings as well. I like that chapel though, it's nice. All right. So first things first, I really like that dining hall. I think it has a lot of character and history to it. You know, a lot of boarding schools, mealtime is very different. Okay, so sometimes you'll go to the dining hall, you'll grab a tray, and you'll put your food on the tray on a plate, and then go and sit down. Sometimes they're long tables, sometimes they're dining tables with 6 to 8 seats at them. I didn't see any trays in this dining hall, so let's keep going. And it looks like family style to me. So. Okay, so one of the things with family style, um, one of the things with family style dining is that you're sometimes forced to sit with people that you normally wouldn't sit with. A lot of times there will be one teacher or faculty or administrator sitting at a table surrounded by 5 or 7 students, and they do that to try and foster this community feeling where everyone has a gets to socialize and speak with people that they normally wouldn't. At other boarding schools, it's a tray. You get your food, you go and you sit at a long table, and it's pretty casual. I'm getting a feeling that this one is family style. I kind of like it, to be honest with you. I think it's a little bit more upscale, so that gets the thumbs up. I hated uniforms, by the way, but they can be nice at times. Speaking about uniforms, one of the things that I really just detested about wearing a collared shirt and wearing a tie and wearing a sport jacket and slacks and dress shoes every day. What's funny is that you'll go through a rotation of them. You might have 2 or 3 different sport jackets, and it's funny because that is at a lot of these schools the uniform, the mandatory uniform, if you will. But it happens all the time that a lot of people don't keep them clean. So usually 3/4 of the way through the semester, you'll start seeing stains on people's sport jackets, and it's you are keeping in line with the uniform standard, but unless sometimes an administrator can point out and say, hey, that thing is filthy, that thing is disgusting. A lot of the guys, especially at an all guys boarding school, they really need an on campus dry cleaner, let me tell you. Okay. Free periods. So free periods at boarding school. Look, I can tell you from experience that you don't get much time. You don't get much free time at boarding school. Okay. Your day, from the moment you wake up to the moment that you go to bed, is like very structured. You're lucky if you have 2 hours of free time during the day. You might have a half hour, 15 minutes or so free time right after the academic day is done. You'll have a little bit of free time after dinner, right before study hall. And then you might have a little bit of time right after study hall before you go to bed. That's it. So, it's odd that they're highlighting, free time right now because you don't get much of it. Okay. That's a nice, that's a pretty nice aerial view of the campus right there in their athletic fields. Guys, a lot of times when I went and visited a couple boarding schools, you can always kind of have a really good sense of you know, how well they keep their grounds is a good reflection, I think, of the schools. Some boarding schools, they cut the grass. They don't plant a lot of flowers or this or that. Some, you'll be hard pressed to find a fallen branch down. That's how on top of it they are, and they're always planting new things. A lot of this comes with how much money the school has in their endowment. Typically the higher the endowment, the more money they have available to spend on cosmetic things like keeping the campus nice and the grass cut and flowers planted. In any event, this looks pretty good. Although I don't see a turf field at Hill School. I know they're very expensive, but that would have been nice to see one there. I would almost have expected them to have a turf field. Guys, comment down below if Hill School does in fact have a turf field. It doesn't look like that to me, though. Nice gym. Mm. So, uh, night games at school, I always thought were pretty cool. A lot of boarding schools don't have night games. There's a lot of reasons why. The big spotlights they have to put up can be expensive. A lot of times there are like regulations in the township where you can't have very high lights, uh, and there's all sorts of different weird rules and stuff like that. But that's a plus. The availability to have night games, I think that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna throw this out there now. Um, you know, Hill School, it looks a little starchy, and that may just be my feeling when I see like the uniforms and stuff like that. I was going to say it looks a little waspy, um, and I know especially in a lot of these marketing videos they like to show all different types of ethnicities. They have a very diverse breadth of student body and whatnot. I was going to say it looks a little waspy, but I don't know, maybe not. Comment down below. Let me know what the Hill School's percentages are of the diversity of their student body. Family style. I don't see trays. Okay. Okay. You know what I think is actually kind of funny is that, with your free time, obviously they're going to be showing that people are playing volleyball outside and hanging out on the common grounds and the big yards and fields and stuff like that. I always thought was funny was that during free time, you would always see these people not doing that, and they would be off, catching a cigarette somewhere or something like that. There's a small percentage of people at boarding school that I guarantee you they're smokers, and they're finding the secluded places on campus to go catch a smoke without getting caught. They don't show that though. Okay. So study hall. One thing that I just noticed is that I didn't see anybody having study hall in their rooms, which makes me think that you could probably go and a lot of these places you can sign out to wherever you want to go and study, where it's like whether it's like the library or in a classroom. And I didn't see anybody studying in their room, so I'm assuming that at Hill School you can maybe let somebody know or sign out somewhere to go and study wherever you like. Comment down below if you know the answer to that. 9:30 p.m. family night, but it looks like they're eating dinner. What's going on here? I'm not sure. Nice. Okay, so this is a great place to stop it. From what I understand, the Hill School is located in Pottstown, PA. Not the best town, so I'm going to give that a little bit of a ding right there because that town is kind of hurting. From what I understand, the Hill School is probably the nicest thing in that town. I've driven through it a couple times, and it's not a lot of things to do in Pottstown. So hashtag choose Hill. Okay, so there you have it, guys. That was our little reaction video to the Hill School, a very well-known school nationally. My initial impressions of the Hill School, pretty good, to be honest with you. It has a very good reputation. I know that they graduate a lot of people to the Ivies and whatnot. I don't know what the endowment size is of Hill School, but I would love to know. I should probably have that kind of info up in the next reaction video. But the campus looked pretty nice. You know, I'm so torn between the dress code because I went to a boarding school that had a dress code, a very strict one, and not only a dress code, but like a facial hair and length of hair kind of policy as well. I didn't see too many guy students there with long hair, so I'm assuming you probably can't have your hair below the collar line. Comment down below, let me know if that is something in like their, you know, in the handbook or whatnot of Hill School. What else? What else? The campus looked good. The initial impression, yeah, pretty nice school. Listen, if I had the opportunity to, I think the Hill School would be on my list of schools that I would send my little guy to, if it's possible. And let's be honest, like, look, a lot of these boarding schools cost a lot of money, but Hill School, pretty good, not too bad. I think it looks good. Their marketing video was pretty on par with what I would expect. So if I had to give it a dude score, that boarding school dude is going to, from what I saw, I'm going to give the Hill School I think an 8.4. 8.4 out of 10. That's what I'm giving the Hill School right out of the gate. And look, I'm always open to changing the dude score, but comment down below if there's anything. If you went to the Hill School, let me know your thoughts. And correct me if I'm wrong with some of the things that I might have stated in my reaction. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for watching the first episode of That Boarding School Dude. Again, like the video, comment down below, please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.